Hi, good morning, everybody. That's so funny. I have to put a little comment in the little comment box when we start so that I can see the comments, and I'm not sure why exactly it does that. But anyways, good morning. And so we're going to get started right away here because we have lots to do. And so, hey, Monique, how are you doing? Good morning. So we're going to start peeling these organic carrots. I've been so busy with all of the harvesting and wildcrafting and gathering and gleaning and all that kind of stuff that I had bought these organic juicing carrots a while back, and they are starting to really need to have something done with them. So I am peeling them. Usually I don't, but they're looking a little ratty on the outside, so I am going to peel them. So what we're making today is a what I call a carrots au gratin. So it's going to be like a little carrot casserole, and typically normally you would use cheese, but I'm not going to. So yeah, so we're going to do that, and a shrub. I don't know if you guys are familiar with shrubs, but I still am working on these apples. I did the yesterday we did the beautiful apple cider vinegar here. So we did put the apples in, and you just see it's starting to ferment already. You can see the bubbles going. And so we just put the sugar and the water in here, the organic sugar and water and the apples, and that's it. And you leave that. Depending on the size of your apples, you know, typically if they're smaller, it will start to turn into vinegar faster. So, but I was, you know, in a hurry, and they're kind of small apples anyway, so I just cut them into quarters. And so you put them in, and so it could be 30 days, but it could be longer, and it doesn't matter because I'm not in any hurry for it. But you do want to make sure that your apples are underneath the brine, right? Because anything sticking out of a brine, typically it's not good because it could mold. And so I have here, if you notice, it fit just perfect in my gallon jug. I have a little, this is a little egg holder. What do you call that? Hard, no, not hard, soft-boiled egg holder, I think. Anyway, it's one of those little things, like a little shot glass, and so I just put that on top to make sure the apples stay down under the brine, and it just fit in there perfect. And so, you know, you can just look around for something like that if you're fermenting to keep the fruit down. And then I also did, we had a pineapple yesterday, and so I did the pineapple vinegar, which is going to be more for salad dressings and all that kind of thing. So this is a pineapple, and in the it's a bit darker because I used an actual more of a darker colored sugar cane. It was more of a sugar cane organic sugar in this one. And so, and I used a I don't know if it was why it was lighter or whiter, but I used the other one there. So in this one here too, I used the now this is going to be more for, you know, you could use the vinegar for cleaning or whatever, and this is the peel of the pineapple, so that's going to be a different vinegar. And yeah, so we'll see how those turn out. And you know, it doesn't take much to make a vinegar. And hey, Jeanette, good morning. Hi, nice to see you. You're going to like this one because it's super yummy carrots with like a cheesy sauce. And then we're going to do a shrub too. So yeah, so I'll just start cutting these, and it's so interesting. Everything is just so interesting lately, for sure. I've been doing the gleaning, and we went again last night, and yeah, so anyways, I was just thinking we had a little gleaning story, and I forgot to tell you guys yesterday. But anyways, yeah, so it's a really great thing to be able to help out with for the new people that are joining us. Hey, Barb. Hi. Good morning. Yeah, so for the new people that are joining us, what you do is you volunteer to go out and pick up the fruit from homeowners that can't, pick their fruit, or, for whatever reason it's falling on the ground. And so we go out and we clean up the fruit that's fallen on the ground off the trees or the bushes or whatever. And then we clean all the fruit off the ground and then donate a third to charity and a third to, hey, Darlene, good morning. Hi, everybody. So, yeah, so a third goes to charity, a third to the homeowner if they want it. And lots of times they don't, because they usually pick the fruit that they can get to. And then they're usually had enough with that most of the time. And then the gleaners get the other third. So, yeah, so we go out and we do that, and we did these apples. I was telling everyone about that yesterday, because these particular apples here have the little blemishes on them. They have they're really small and tiny, and they have the little blighty things, but it's really, everything is usable. So you can take these, which is what I did, was I cut them into 4 and put them into well, it's basically a 1/4 cup to a quart of water, and it's just of organic sugar, and it's just that. And then you put them in the water and the sugar, and you let them make vinegar for usually it's 30 days and it starts to be vinegary. But you can keep checking it and stuff and see, what the I'm just checking on this. I've been so busy, I didn't check on my mango salsa that we made the other day. That's kind of, I shouldn't shake it over my carrots. Although mango salsa and carrots would probably be a really good thing. But see, you just want to check these too. When you're making a ferment, you always want to check them every day and make sure that that it's mixed really well, and make sure that the fruit, or whatever it is, vegetables, aren't sticking out of the fluid or the brine, in this case the brine, because otherwise it will start to, it'll start to mold. So just checking on this, and it looked a little dry on the top, so I'm just trying to float the fruit back underneath the brine. And I might put a little weight on that too, like I did with the apples. But you can see all the bubbles that it's starting to ferment. And this is our fantastic mango salsa, which is, it's just going to be amazing. Like it probably is already. You could just make that mango salsa like we did, I think it was Monday, and you could, just stick it in the fridge. But I wanted to ferment it for a couple days, because it brings out the probiotics and the all of the beneficial probiotics and enzymes and all that kind of stuff. And so it just makes your I'm gonna be careful with the knife, I promise. Little skip there. Yeah, so the fermentation is such a benefit to your immune system, to your intestinal health. It gives you the friendly bacteria. It keeps your whole immune system stronger. It assists in fermentation, assists in brain function. They've done so many studies with giving probiotics, and especially fermented probiotics, they're really changing people's diets and incorporating those kinds of things. And in this case, specifically the fermentation for the probiotics. And they're seeing like people's moods improving, memories improving, all kinds of things that you wouldn't really think would be connected to the bacteria in your intestine, right? Your gut biome. They call it the gut biome. It's really, really important. So yeah, so for sure you want to be doing that. And yeah, so how's everybody doing with the whole summer goings on? I know people are starting to travel, and the numbers are kind of going up a little bit. And so yeah, so it's super important to keep your immune system strong. Like anything you can do, your fruits and vegetables and probiotics, and you know, anything you can do to stay healthy. Get some exercise, go out walking, enjoy the forest. You know, they're saying stress is one of the big things, right? For the for getting sick at any time. Stress is like a #1 factor for most illnesses. And so, you know, to do something that's de-stressing if you can. And I know there's a lot of stress on the teachers right now, especially with all the decision making that has to go on and that kind of thing. So, yeah, so it's really important to do whatever you can to stay as stress-free as possible. Hi, Jane. Hey, good morning. Oh, it's so nice to see everybody on here today. I guess it's a Wednesday that people are able to hang out with me and watch me make dinner. Oh, yeah, so back to the traveling story. I mean, it's not really a story, but people are traveling. So, so we do have relatives that want to come, and I said, "Are you kidding? Yeah, no, you're not coming into my house. There's no way." So luckily we have a little, like, well, we have the Star House. Most of you know about that. So we have the Star House, and so it's a separate building, and so that's part of what these carrots are all about. Is that we're going to have an outdoor little barbecue for people, because I refuse to let them in the house right now. So yeah, so it's really it is a really good time if you have loved ones that you really want to see and stuff. Thankfully we have the weather right now, so so do what you can to make yourself happy and to be able to visit outside and de-stress and connect and all that kind of stuff, because you know, when the fall comes, it won't be as easy to do that with the colder weather. So I'm boring you guys with my carrots. Okay, what else? All kinds of things happening. The blackberries are out, which is super awesome. We're gonna do some blackberry stuff. And I don't have very many right now because we live higher up, so everything's a little bit slower here. All the garden stuff is a little... I'm just going to cut it on an angle. Carefully. A lot easier to do this kind of thing when you're standing up, because you have a lot more control over the knife and the, you know, you've got your weight to put into it. When you're sitting, it's a little bit trickier. So you have to be more careful. Okay, so yeah, so okay, that's it for that. Okay, so what we're gonna add to this, back to the recipe, what we're gonna add to our beautiful carrots. Oh, okay, we're gonna add an onion. I forgot the onion. It was sitting right here. You guys were probably looking at it, wondering why I didn't start with an onion, because I usually always start with an onion. So, yeah, so the onions, as we know, are super antihistamine, anti-inflammatory, really important. I feel like I'm boring today. I've got too many scattered things on my mind. Okay, so we're gonna make a shrub, and I'll tell you about that, because I have all kinds of plums too. And the other thing I'm going to do with the plums, but I probably won't do it with you guys because it would be like seriously boring. What I'm going to do is, you know, just render it down like I did with the plum chutney, and take the plums, and you can just, if you want, I've done it both ways, because I forgot that I had a really good pot to do it a good way, an easy way. And so I did it the hard way, which is the way I do most things, until I figure out, oh yeah, there's that other thing, or that other way. So the first way, if you don't have a double boiler pot colander, yeah, then you can just throw your plums, pits, stems, skins, the whole thing into a pot and just simmer away until they start breaking down. And then use your potato masher to just mash all of the pulp and the juice and everything from the plums. And until you get pretty much everything you think you can get out of those plums by mashing it down with the potato masher. And so that's the way I did it the first time, which is like 2 weeks ago, I think. And then I just ran it through a colander or sieve or whatever. I mean, not too tiny, right? Because it would take forever to go through. So something with fairly decent holes. You don't need that tiny of holes, because what you're trying to filter out are the stems, skins, and the pits. So they're pretty big. So you don't need big holes on your colander. And then you strain it off. And then I went ahead and made the plum chutney, which is on my Facebook or on my YouTube channel. And that was the first chutney. And so then the second one that I did last week, I have the pot that goes into the pot with the holes in it. So that makes it way easier. So you just throw all your plums in there, pits, skins, everything. And then you do the same thing, kind of, you're more like steaming it down. So you really have to watch it more often and then squish it down. Same thing with the potato masher. And then you get all the juice and the pulp in the bottom of that. So what I did differently with that one was I added extra chili peppers, and I added a secret ingredient, which you guys that were watching already know about, which was a mulling spice. So the first batch I used a pickling spice in the plums, and then the second one I used a mulling spice, which made it really, really quite beautiful. Turned out super nice because it just added like that, mulling spice is what they use for mulled cider. The name escapes me. Oh my god. Yeah, that stuff that you drink in the winter that tastes like apple pie. And yeah, mulling spice for mulled cider. Apple mulled cider? I can't remember. I think it's called mulled cider. My little brain needs some more ginkgo. Okay, so yeah, so that was awesome. So what I'm going to do with the rest of these plums, which I probably won't do in front of you, is just render them down again in a very similar way, and then use the juice and just can the juice. So just be putting it into, one of these jars, like a hot juice, and canning it. And then you could add it to anything else to make like, either a hot beverage or a cold beverage, or, like a plum juice, and you could add it to other juices and just kind of like make your own blend. So anyway, okay, back to these carrots. So we have the onions, we have the carrots. We are going to add, right in front of me, we're going to add, this is the minced garlic. So it's a little bit bigger chunks, and quite a bit of that because I love the garlic. And not a whole lot of different stuff, because I really want to bring out the cheesy flavor with the nutritional yeast. And the nutritional yeast has the B vitamins. It's really also really good for the immune system. It just has so many health benefits, has all the trace minerals and everything. So we're going to add quite a bit of that to it. I'm kicking out again. Facebook has been funny all week. I'm not really sure what we looked like yesterday. If I was on the whole thing, but it timed out yesterday also, and then Monday it did too. So I don't know what's going on, but thanks for letting me know. I'm just going to carry on here. And, well, I tend to skip in real life anyway, so you guys you're probably used to the shenanigans that go on here with me throwing food on the floor and usually pouring things in places where they don't belong. And so a little Facebook skipping just goes with the par. So, yeah, so I'm going to carry on here, and that is so strange, but I'm glad it's just not me. If it's happening in Nanaimo and other areas, then we know it's a, I don't know if it's an internet thing. Do you guys think it's an internet thing or a Facebook thing? Seems to be just Facebook. Okay, so I'm going to add some Himalayan sea salt to this, and some black pepper too. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to sprinkle right now a little bit of water over this just to keep the carrots moist, and then put the cover on and then just kind of steam them a little bit, because I'm not actually going to cook this until later on tonight. So if you're trying to make a meal early and then keep it until later, which is what I often do with you guys, because you know, because we do this at 11 and then I'm just sharing with you how I cook and what I do in my 15-minute meals that are just fun and funny. But yeah, I'm just going to put a little bit of water on this to keep it moist. I'm going to put the lid on. It's got a glass lid. And then when I actually go to cook it tonight, what I'm going to do is add a little bit of, you can add whatever you want, but I'm going to add some almond milk and pour it over here, and then give it a stir. And then I will add more of the nutritional yeast to make it more cheesy. And so, you know, if you wanted to, you can, which I might do, you could also add a little bit of tapioca starch with a little bit of water and make it like a sauce. So this is kind of like the gratin part. So yeah, so I'm just going to put this in the fridge for right now, and then put a little bit of water over, a little bit of, you could probably mix the tapioca starch in with the almond milk, you know, just cold. It has to be cold when you're mixing. You guys know this already. When you're mixing tapioca starch and flour and everything with, usually it's with cold water so that it doesn't get lumpy. And then, or you can do it with the almond milk and stir it up, and then just pour it over top and give it a stir, and then sprinkle some more nutritional yeast over top, and then that's it. So it's going to be super easy. So that is that. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to make our little shrub. And so what I am going to do is just wash my hands from the onions and the garlic, because we're going to go into the plums now, and I'll show you how to do that. Just get a little bit of that. I don't want my plum shrub to taste like onions and carrots. Okay, so these are the cute little plums that I gleaned with the team of gleaners the other day. And yeah, so basically, you know, it's like the super easiest recipe ever. And it's basically, hope I have enough here and here, because I have a whole pile, but I just washed these two. I thought that I'd have 2 cups. So you want 2 cups. Whatever it is that you, whatever kind of fruit you want. I'm going to have to probably grab some more plums. But whatever fruit you want, you're going to go 2 cups. The recipe is 2 cups of fruit, fresh fruit, and 2 cups of sugar, which sounds like a lot, but if you use an organic sugar or coconut sugar, you can do that. But this is the traditional recipe. And so 2 cups of fruit, 2 cups of sugar, and 2 cups of vinegar, right? So, and of course I want to be using a apple cider vinegar for this. And so, I think there's a new comment. Oh yeah, looks awesome. I know the carrots are really, really good. So anyway, so the shrub, yeah. So it's a, it's like an old-fashioned thing that they used to drink like 100 years ago, and it's kind of like, I don't know, one of the history things I read was like it was from the Arabian times, and so and in Egypt and everything. And so I think that what the deal was to do something to make a you know, a festive drink, and so kind of like a cordial or whatever. And the other thing it was for vitamin C, so that you would have that, it would last a long time, right? Because it's vinegar and it's sugar, and it's going to last in a jar like, I don't know, a long time, definitely through the winter. and then you would just add a little bit of this. I mean, if you get your taste for the sugar and the vinegar in the right balance, right, you could drink it straight up, which I don't know. I mean, that's why I like doing these things with you guys. I've never done this before, and so so I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. And we come here to hang out and to try new things and experiment with new things, and just kind of play around with it and have fun with healthy foods that are interesting and fun. And so anyways, yeah, so I don't know, but my thoughts are at this point in time, before I've even tasted it, is that I would add it to another drink. So, oh, I see another comment there. Oh, yay! Monique's cooking along with us. That's awesome. So yeah, so your the shrub would be a really refreshing. That's what I'm looking for. Really refreshing drink. And yeah, so it was really something that was that people had at parties and everything like that, kind of like a cordial. And apparently sometimes they made it, or they added or made it with alcohol as well. So so that would be interesting. I'm not too much of a, like if you were to add vodka or something to it, I'm not too much into those kinds of drinks at all, but it sounds really interesting. And so, yeah, so it's going to be full of vitamin C and whatever the nutrition of the particular fruit you're using it. So like in the case of blackberries and everything, well, all of them, you know, most fruits have vitamin C anyways, but all the different blueberries would have all of the lutein for your eyes, you know, so each one would have those benefits preserved in the vinegar and the sugar. So as long as it's an organic sugar. And so, and I don't know if they always used, I mean, back then they would have used an organic vinegar because that's all they had. I went and dropped a pit in there. Clean spoon. Yeah, these are a little fussy. So this is going to take forever to get these. You know what would work? I'm always thinking of the faster way or the easier way. Would be to do, like I said before, stick this in the colander, but don't heat it up. Just put it in the colander over the pot, cold, and just mash it down just to get the pulp and the juice out of these, because this is very picky. And when I look at the mountain of fruit that I have to deal with today, that I really want to preserve and do some really fun things with, this would take forever. So anyways, what I might do, I don't know, should I layer it? I feel like I'm just going to sit here and peel plums in front of you guys for like 10 minutes and too funny. So anyway, okay, well, I'll tell you a story. All right, I have a good story. So I'll put it at the end here. My glasses keep falling down. This is a different pair of glasses, and I think I need them adjusted. But anyway, so we're gleaning, and when we're gleaning, I'm usually pretty good on the ladder, but I went up the ladder a little too far probably, and whenever I do that, I'm always really careful to you know, hang on to a branch while I'm picking the fruit, whatever the fruit is, the apples or whatever. And so I got up there and I made sure that I was, you know, hanging on to a branch, and picked the stuff. You know, I've got a little pick thing. You put the fruit in the little basket kind of around your neck. And so anyways, and then I went to get down, and the ladder kicked out. It did. It just kind of went sideways, and luckily I had my arm over the branch, and I was like swinging. I know Darlene's going to give me shit. Daniel already gave me shit. And so I was like swinging sideways, and thankfully there was a guy there that's really big and tall, and he ran over and kind of grabbed me by the legs and got me down out from swinging in the tree. So So the moral of the story, or not the moral of the story, we all know the moral of the story, but the cool thing is that they, they're all like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I just got a little scratch here, which was from hanging off the branch, but I'm grateful for that. But it actually looks much better than it did. It was bleeding, and so I took arnica right away. So you guys, I keep telling you about your herbal kits, that you need to be prepared, especially this winter. And arnica, Arnica, is it's a homeopathic remedy, and it's for injury or trauma. And so it's like a little first aid thing, and you can have these little, you can either get it in a liquid, you can also buy it in a salve, any health food store, and but you can get it in the little tiny pellets, in homeopathic pellets, and then you put 3 under your tongue. So that was the first thing I did, was do the arnica right away. And then I have been, oh, there's a little piece of leaf, I don't want that in there. I have been making a plantain salve, and so my plantain salve, and plantain is really good for the skin. It's really good for the oh God, so many different things. Plantain is just really the most amazing thing. And so anyway, so I had made a plantain salve, and so I put that on, and yeah, and it's actually looking much better than it did. And it seriously, with the arnica and the plantain, it seriously only hurt for like, I don't know, 20 minutes once I got the salve on there. So so good to know. And the other thing is, you guys, yeah, I hear that Walmart's making people wear masks as of tomorrow, I think. And you never know how close you're going to get to people, because the guy that actually caught me was wearing a mask. And so yeah, so you may think you're in a position, and I wasn't, because I was cleaning in the tree, in the outdoors. We're easily 6 feet or more away from each other out in the fresh air, but then I wasn't 6 feet away. And so it's really important, yeah, it's really important to prepare for the unexpected, and to have a mask in your pocket, and we should be really putting them on when we're when you least expect it, because he did have a mask on, and otherwise, I mean, I don't know, I might still be swinging, hanging out of that tree. I don't think so, but because he was super, super crazy, helpful. Yeah. So anyway, so that's my story for the day. And yeah, so that's yeah, lesson learned. But for sure, get some arnica, keep it with you in case of any accidents or any kind of anything. And plantain salve, or first aid salve, although I prefer, the herbal salves are, to me, they're much more natural than like a polysporin. I don't even own polysporin. But if you don't have anything, get polysporin, because it is a good product. I just, as a herbalist, it's kind of like not really my thing. But for sure, have things on hand that are easy to get to, right? That you don't have to go digging through the cupboard for 20 minutes. You can't find, if you need band-aids or bandages or whatever. You need to know where your stuff is. So that's the moral for the day. These guys are a little mushy, so I'm not going to do that, and I'm not going to bore you guys as I go through. Well, maybe I'll add the sugar just to show you. I'll rinse my hands off and do that, and then I won't bore you with filling it up for the other cup, because it's just taking forever. And okay, so all I'm going to do with this to make the shrub is to add the, it's going to be 2 cups of water, 2 cups of vinegar and 2 cups of the organic sugar. So let's just do that, and then you can see how it's done. This is a new one. That's a new one. Okay, so we're going to, because that looks like about 1 cup of, you know what, I'm going to make half a recipe. How's that sound? Okay, so it looks like I have 1 cup of plums here. So we're just going to do half recipe. So half cup of sugar and, oh no, it would be 1 cup of sugar. You guys, I know, I just, yeah, math is not my thing. Okay, so typically the recipe is 2 cups of fruit, 2 cups of sugar, 2 cups of vinegar. So if I'm making half, it'd be 1 cup of fruit, 1 cup of sugar, 1 full cup, there we go, and 1 cup of the apple cider vinegar to make a half recipe. Oh my God, I'm so funny. Okay, so there we go. And yeah, so that's good. So we're done. I don't even have to peel the rest of those or cut up the rest of those. We'll just see how this turns out. And then what I think I will do is, oh good, 1 in your car and 1 in your purse. That's awesome. Oh, I can't quite read that. But anyways, so the 1 cup here. It's funny when the comments come up and they're in like showing the light part. It's like, what? What's that saying? I don't know. Something's, oh yes, I see that. Okay, that's awesome. So yeah, so this is it. We're going to put the lid on. Oh my God, you guys. Some days I'm just a little too scattered. When you do this every day, you become more and more comfortable. And just like, okay, you know, we're just going to do this. You guys are just hanging out with me in the kitchen, and that's just how it is. And it becomes more and more casual and less professional. But, you know, it's real life, and that's okay. Okay, so we're just giving this a shake with our plums and our organic cane sugar and the apple cider vinegar. Okay, so we'll see how this goes. Yeah, so I'm going to, let's do some homework. Let's see what else we can do with the shrub. I mean, I guess if you, looking at it right now and the way it is, I guess it could be like a little, you know, a little shot glass liqueur. But my thoughts are to add it to something else. But I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so there's our plum shrub. And we'll check in on that tomorrow. We're going to recap on for the new people that are here. So what we did was we did the carrots au gratin casserole with onions and carrots, and we're going to add nutritional yeast, Himalayan sea salt, black pepper, and then we will make a roux with the tapioca starch and some almond milk and put that over and mix it in and add some more nutritional yeast. And our cute little lovely plum shrub. So now you know what a shrub is, and you know, it's something else to do with all that fruit. I hope you guys are getting the fruit that I'm getting. You know, I mean, I bought peaches on sale at the store. We need to do something with those. And then the pineapple, I bought that, and that was, we did something with that, and I bought something else too. What did I buy? We did something with it anyways. So it's so much fun. I encourage you to, yeah, to start playing with really healthy food and just exploring different recipes and different fun ways of preserving and making healthy meals and snacks. Okay, so we'll see you guys tomorrow at 11. Thank you for hanging out. That was really fun. Okay, take care. Be careful. Says me.